Hello, everybody. It's the Film Optimist, and today I'm talking about Finding Dory, the much anticipated sequel of Finding Nemo, the joke sequel that became a sequel. It's weird that Pixar started doing like sequels that took place right after the first one ended. Like right where the first one ended, we're gonna pick up where it left off. They did that with this one. They would do it with The Incredibles 2, and not with Monsters Inc. for some reason. I mean, that's the one that everyone wants. They just won't do it. I mean, what story is there that they could use? And now that they've officially announced there's no more sequels for Pixar, which is a good thing in my opinion, you could make some more original stories. Um, it's just kind of sad that we got University instead of Monsters Inc. 2. Finding Dory came out what like 13 years later, 12 years later. Finding um, and I'm gonna try to do this without Wikipedia again. I mean, I'm on it right now just to see the year. Yeah, 13 years later. Um, the film is a sequel slash spinoff. It's a sequel. It's a sequel. Um, it focuses on Dory this time, but it's like Marlin and Nemo are still in it. Um, so we open the film. I saw this in theaters with my wife. We saw opens the film. You hear "Hi, I'm Dory," and it's a little, and then it's like pitch black when you hear this, and then boop, baby Dory, cutest little baby ever. I mean, then you would have. I think Baby Groot came after, or yeah, Baby Groot came after probably. And then came, Baby Yoda slash Grogu. You have all these little, but Baby Dory was so adorable, little tiny fish. And we were introduced to her parents. Um, what are their names? See, I do need would be um, Jenny and Charlie, Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy, both tremendous. And they're telling her about. She's like, "Hi, I'm Dory, and I suffer from short-term memory loss." So adorable. And they're like, "Yeah, that's exactly what you say." And they're like, "This is how you introduce yourself in case you get stuck, or whatever. You're in that kind of situation." We flash forward, and this is how it is throughout the entire film. It's a very interesting structure. It's flashback and then back to the future, back to the past or present. Forgive me, I need my coffee. I'm so fucking tired. Do not get almond cocoa logo creamer. It's not that good. Anyway, you go back to the past, and then you go back to the present where we are seeing Dory. She's asleep, and she's having this kind of dream, and she keeps waking up. It doesn't seem significant. It seems like kind of a joke, playing on her memory loss and stuff. And oh, back to bed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something's keeping her up. If you look more deeper into the film, it's like, oh, she's something's bothering her. It's her parents. It's nagging at the back of her mind. Like, remember, you went to go on this big adventure to find your parents. Um, she gets separated with them from them, and we don't know how because of the flashbacks and flash forwards and shit. Um, but they lead her to go to this exhibit place, uh, Jewel Morro Bay, California. She remembers that they lived at the Jewel Morro Bay, California. What is it? Shipwreck, barely beluga whale. To an aquarium in Cleveland. Yeah, but that aquarium has a fucking name and it's important. Wikipedia. Christ, can't ever rely on anything. What's the name of the aquarium? Anyway, she's like, she's a teaching assistant. Like she keeps going to school with Nemo, and the teacher, Mr. Ray, is like, no, she can't do this anymore. And Marlin doesn't have the heart to break it to her gently. He's like, there's too many kids, and he doesn't have enough, time to pay attention to you as well. And she's like, oh, okay, he needs a teaching assistant. Okay, ends up going with him because Marlin's like, oh, you got help today. Um, she's out there. There's the current, and you got to be careful around the current and the undertow. You got to be careful around the undertow. She's like, the undertow, and then flashback to which is little, oh, the undertow, haha, and parents are like, no, like you don't go near the undertow. You'll get swept up into it and you'll be carried away. Please stay away from it. It's very dangerous. And they keep trying to like just pound that into her head basically, and she's not. They're trying to do it as gently as possible, as parents do. She's not getting it, and it's so frustrating trying to teach a kid something. So that kind of like it hits more now because my daughter was barely a year when this came out. Probably not even a year, I don't think. Yeah, she wasn't a year yet. So didn't really deal with that back then, but now I'm like, okay, baby girl, I try to teach her, and she doesn't fully understand still. Kids, what are you gonna do right now? The fuck is this? What's the name of the aquarium? That's what I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to do two things at once, and I'm failing miserably. And Finding Dory, yeah. Um, so she tells Marlon Nemo about the Jewel of Morro Bay, California. She's like, I remember. So they're like, okay, well let's go together. Like we'll go on this adventure. They don't. Marlon's like, I don't want to go on this adventure at first. So we've already done the ocean thing, and he's very exaggerating in like what he's done. Like he's like, oh yeah, there were four sharks, and it's like there were three sharks. He's like, yeah, actually there were four. It's like, why are you lying? Why are you doing the dad thing where you're like making it the Monterey Bay Aquarium? No, Marine Life Institute. God damn it, so fucking simple. So the Jewel of Morro Bay, California. What is it? What is it? So they're going and they happen upon a shipwreck where there's like this giant squid. Um, she remembers. She's starting to remember a lot more. Like she's having these flashbacks, and it's like, oh my god. Um, and during this whole running away from the squid, Nemo gets hurt. Dory forgets. Like she sees that he's hurt. She goes away. Like, oh no, no, what do we do? Goes back. Oh my god, Nemo, are you okay? And Marlon's like, oh my god, not. I already told you, not now. And they they get separated. She gets fished out of the water as they see like, oh, poor little girl, like she's lost her way. Let's take her into the Marine Life Institute. Now Marlon and Nemo have to find a way to get in there, and there are two like seals that they encounter that eat fish, but they're too lazy to do it, and they're voiced by Idris Elba and the other guy and Dominic West, Fluke and Rudder, California Sea Lion, and there's another one named Gerald, uh, voiced by Torben Zan Bullock. He wishes to lie on the rock that they lie on, and like they just fuck with him. There's a Becky, this fish or this a bird that they call down to have the fish to come down and scoop up Marlin and Nemo, bring them into the Marine Life Institute, drop them right into quarantine. They get dropped into quarantine. That's where Dory should be. Dory is not in quarantine. Or no, she does start in quarantine. There's Hank, a septopus, not an octopus. He only has 7 arms. He's lost one of his tentacles. Seven arms, 7 tentacles. And because Dory's on the outside and she has this tag's gonna take her to Seattle or some other fucking place. It doesn't matter. The septopus, voiced by Ed O'Neill, by the way, he's like I want to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go to that other aquarium where it's nice and I'm away from people. Let's go there. And Dory's like, I agree. If you can take me to where my parents should be. And of course, she can't remember. Like she's like, I don't remember this place at all. But then a lot of things stick out, and she's starting to remember. And that's how we know. That's how we learn why in the first film she could read. Why she seems more intelligent than she presents herself. With the memory loss. It's highly intelligent for an aquatic animal to be able to fucking read something. So they go on their little adventure. She meets Bailey and Destiny. She's like, it's got to be Destiny. Destiny. For some reason, Destiny's sticking in my head. Destiny is a big fat whale, a nearsighted whale shark, voiced by Caitlin Olsen, from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Ty Burrell is a beluga whale who temporarily lost echolocation due to a concussion. Um, so that's her pipe pal. She used to speak through the pipes in her exhibit to Destiny exhibit tank. He used to talk back and forth. Now now she finally gets to meet Destiny in person. They're all grown up now. Um, gets into the whale cage. It's a really adorable interaction between the two of them. Like, oh, you're so pretty. She has to get really up, like real close to see Dory. Oh, you're so pretty. And what the fuck is that guy? And Bailey. Because of his echolocation, it's broken. He can't use it. He's basically a useless character until Destiny is like, come on, Bailey, you got this. It's not broken. Come on. And he uses it and locates Dory, who at this point has gone through this pipe. She can't get in there, or she can't. What is it? I think Hank can't fit in there. And he totally could. Really copping out here, but he's like, I can't fit in there, so you got to go by yourself. Give me the tag. She gives up the tag, goes in there and gets lost. Really cool sequence where Bailey can see. He can echolocate Dory, and he knows how to get to quarantine from there. It's like, this is crazy. I can see everything. So he's leading her, and then she runs into Marlin and Nemo, who at this point they were thrown into a different, like into what was it? They were in a bucket of water that Becky was carrying. Becky carried them up because Marlon was impatient and was like, Becky can't do it. Oh my god, because he's just being such an asshole in this movie. Like fuck, Dory, she just forgets how she does. Um, the water falls down. The pail of water, I think, is put down onto a tree. They try to get out of the tree by swinging back and forth, launch themselves into like a gift shop water thing, and then they somehow get out of there into a little pond. Yeah, we get now. Where do we go now? And there's a little clam there talking about how his wife Shelly left him. They back away slowly into the pipes, and then that's where we meet them coming into Dory, encountering Dory. They all see each other. They She's like, I know where my parents are. They're in quarantine. I'm like, we just came from quarantine. Okay, let's go there. Or that's where we were trying to go. And isn't that where you came from? Yeah, but they're collecting all of the, what is she? I can't remember her name. All the blue tangs. They're collecting all the blue tangs, and they're going to ship them off to, where are they shipping them off to? No, it's Cleveland. They're trying to go to an aquarium in Cleveland. Nice, quiet little aquarium. So she goes out there. She dropped into the tank of all of the blue tangs. This entire film, it's like, did she, like, are they dead? Did they die? Because Pixar could do some shit like that. I mean, they're owned by Disney, and Disney's been known to do that shit too. So, and it would be huge. But so she's in this tank of blue tangs, like they're gone. They're gone. Then we learn how Dory was trying to. They were crying. Her parents are crying. Jenny and Charlie. Jenny's crying. She goes over there and she sees her mom crying. Her mom loves purple shells. So she goes over and picks up the purple shells, takes them over, or trying to get a purple shell, and gets caught up in the undertow and gets swept out from the aquarium. And now she's all lost and like gone on to this huge adventure. We see this, like, we know that she's out of the aquarium somehow. Um, Throughout the film, in flashbacks, we see some other fish that try to take care of her and help her, and she leaves before they can actually do anything. There's all these conversations that she has with different fishes, and then we finally see her all grown up, and then she runs into Marlin, and kind of a nitpick here, but it's the scene where he's running after the boat where they first encounter each other. Oh, the boat! Which way did the boat go? And there was no "Hi, I'm Dory." Oh, the boat is like, oh, this way, follow me. They cut out a little bit of that, and I get why they did it. Cut down the runtime, and also they didn't have the original footage to base it off of. Like they were just thinking of taking the original footage and putting it in there, but that was all like destroyed, I guess. So they could only like base it off of that and like chalk it up and like, okay, we'll just do it just like how it is, but it's kind of like a what is that? A remake, not a reboot or not a what's that called when they do that with the video games? It's not remade. It's I forget. I forget. It's a clusterfuck of a review. It's only 15 minutes though, so not bad. Um, anyway, and there was another flashback. I skipped over a couple of flashbacks, like the purple shell flashback. But there's one that's really good, and she's in this this petting tank. Like you can touch the fish and everything. Very good lesson to teach kids. Like the same fucking poking on the glass. Fish don't like that. When you go and you touch animals, touch the little fish in that little touching part, like oh, there's like a little kind of stingray kind of thing. Oh, there's this one. You can pet them, but you have to be gentle. You can't fucking push and press. You can't squeeze. Kids love doing that shit with animals for whatever reason. You don't do that, and it's like a disaster in this area. And Dory has to like watch out for all these obstacles, all these little fucking kids stomping shit down. And she finds Hank, who's hiding in there. He's camouflaged himself. She's like, "We need to get out of here," and he's like, "I don't know what to do." And she's like, "What do we do?" And she's like, "Just keep swimming." And she has a flashback. Her mom taught her that. It's so heartwarming. She's like, you know what you do when something like this happens? You just keep swimming. And then she made the song, just keep swimming. Just and it's like, and she's like, just keep. My mom taught me that song, and then she starts singing it again. Like my mom sang this song to me. I'm gonna get us out of here. It's like, oh, that's so sweet. Like that's really cool. It's a nice way to. It's really nice. They're planning on doing a lot more of that. Like Sea Monkey has my money. Like she would say like weird stuff like that in the first movie. She's like asleep. She's like Sea Monkey has my money. They're gonna like put like a poster of like a sea monkey with like money for whatever reason, and they thought that's taking her identity way too far. Like she is the Marine Life Institute. Like nah, it's she's learned a lot from her parents, not from just the Marine Life Institute. She remembers a lot of stuff, of course, and is very influential on her from her young age. But anyway, she gets out. She goes into the tank, goes to quarantine. Yeah, that she went to the actual main tank before she went to quarantine. Goes to quarantine. Wait, because they're all leaving. She wants to get out of there. I could have sworn she went into the pipe. Yeah, she went to the pipe. That's where she found Marlon and Nemo. Okay, I get it now. Then from there, she jumps out of the tank. They're going to Cleveland. Marlon and Nemo are stuck in the truck that's on its way to Cleveland, as is Hank. But Hank is like happy about it, but not really happy because he lost Dory. Dory is in the water. She's looking around. Ginny and Charlie show up. She's like, "Mom, Dad," and they're like, "Dory." And they freak out. It's a nice reunion. And like, oh my god! And they're like, "We were so worried about you. I'm so sad you've been alone all this time." And she's like, "Oh, I haven't been alone this whole time." Then she's like, "Marlon and Nemo. Oh shit." They're on a truck to Cleveland. They're like, oh, to Cleveland, you know. And her parents are very like, these people sound really nice, but you know, you got your parents back. Let's not push it. And then she's like, no, you don't understand. They're family. Which is like the lesson all along is like that she had family. It's cool that she got her parents back, but Marlon and Nemo are her family as well. Um, Really crazy sequence where she gets both um, was it Bailey and Destiny? They both jump over the wall. I think Destiny goes first, then Bailey comes afterwards because they belong together. And Destiny jumps in the water. He echolocates the truck. She goes and she gets on the road. She's like, launch me into the road. There's otters there. There's this huge cuddle party. She calls it a cuddle party. They start cuddling each other. It's super cute. And then the truck that's carrying Marlon and Nemo, perfect timing, shows up. Hey, whoa, get out of the road. We got to get past. And then they steal the truck, and then they are driving the truck. Her and Hank. Hank like gets out. He comes around, and they're both now driving. And They drive the truck off of the bridge into the harbor, into the ocean. It's really fucking weird, but it's really funny too at the same time. It's so over the top. Get into the water. Now everyone's reunited. It's great. This is awesome. And now they're all living in one area. And honestly, let's just leave it at that. Let's not have Finding Marlin. Let's not have another. And they apparently they won't. No more sequels. So that's my thoughts on Finding Dory. I watched the. It's good. It's a good sequel. I saw it in theaters when it came out. Like not opening day, but around the time it came out when it was in theaters, of course. My wife and I went. I think it was on a date. Without my daughter, she still hasn't been to the movies. Got to do that pretty soon. Um, we watched it and we loved it. We got teared up, emotional. I've said it with the Finding Nemo. When I got with my wife, that's like she got me into that movie even more so than I did when I was a child. So when I was younger, so it was like this is crazy that like we're experiencing the sequel together. This is insane. And we at the time we were like, this is way better than Finding Nemo. Then we were rewatching Finding Nemo, and then it's like, yeah, no, it's not better than Finding Nemo. It's just a really good sequel. I liked it, and I'm glad that Pixar is not going to be making sequels anymore. They don't need to. They can make original stuff. But that's it for my Finding Dory review. Kind of all over the place. It would be a little bit shorter if I could just like read my actual next reviews post. But Pixar's fun to like remember, like and think about all that stuff. Some of them I won't do that for. But but yeah. That's it. You guys have a good one. I'm recording this on Valentine's Day, all these videos, so all the videos you see this week. So if you had a happy Valentine's Day, tell me. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Spread love. Not that way. Okay, bye.